The delayed Minotaur 4 finally launches, and its payload plays hide and seek, or hide and keep hiding. Where did that payload go? On your Space Vidcast for April 27th, 2010. Last Thursday, April 22nd at 2300 hours Coordinated Universal Time, an all-new rocket from the U.S. Air Force and Orbital Sciences launched, the Minotaur 4 Lite. This new rocket uses U.S. government-furnished solid rocket motors from decommissioned Peacekeeper ICBMs, which is super cool, as well as a commercial solid rocket upper stage. The rest of the vehicle is based on Orbital's past rockets, such as the smaller Minotaur 1 and Pegasus. While this particular launch was suborbital, the Minotaur 4 is actually designed to be an orbital launch system. The Minotaur 4 has seen some delays. It was discovered that a gas generator in the third stage of the rocket would produce unintended thrust after the motor burned out. Engineers had to go back, design a new diffuser to reduce that unintended thrust, and then that delayed the rocket even further. Projects such as the Space-Based Space Surveillance Satellite, or SBSS, that's its actual name, have been delayed since October of last year due to the Minotaur 4 issues. This setback has caused a cascading delay for military satellite deployments. Some satellites have been moved to other launch vehicles, such as the Delta II, while others have had to wait for the Minotaur 4 configuration to be fixed. And now that the Air Force and Orbital have been able to successfully launch the Minotaur 4, it's expected they'll be able to catch up on that backlog. Now, while the launch itself was a success, the payload, not so much. Aboard the Minotaur 4 Lite was DARPA's hypersonic test vehicle. The payload was known as the Falcon HTV-2A glide vehicle and is designed to re-enter the atmosphere and fly across the Pacific Ocean at speeds of around 13,000 miles per hour or 20,000 kilometers per hour. The HTV was supposed to test technologies that could eventually be employed by a system capable of prompt global response missions, which sounds foreboding. Well, that was the plan, at least. The vehicle was released from Minotaur's third stage, and it looked like Orbital's rocket did deliver the HTV glide vehicle and separate as planned, but then something went horribly, tragically wrong. The craft was supposed to try out its aerodynamic control systems, do a bunch of turns to burn off some energy, and then glide over the Pacific Ocean at that awesome 13,000 miles per hour before splashing down in the sea near the U.S. Army's Reagan test site. Unfortunately, tracking systems lost contact with the Falcon HTV-2A around 9 minutes after liftoff. DARPA's not yet said if any of the HTV mission objectives were completed before communications with the craft were lost. Oopsies. And finally, 51 years ago today, the Mercury 7 astronauts first reported for duty. Project Mercury was the first human spaceflight program in the United States, running from 1959 to 1963. The goal of Project Mercury was to put a human in orbit around the Earth. Now, the first human flight on Mercury was with Alan Shepard on May 5th, 1961, which was a suborbital flight. And on February 20th, 1962, the goal of orbiting the Earth was met with astronaut John Glenn. Now, don't forget to join us this Friday at 200 hours Coordinated Universal Time for Space Vidcast Live. This week we'll have on guest Bill Suter, who's the author of Rocket Belt Pilot's Manual. This is your chance to ask someone who's actually flown a rocket belt your own questions. For those of you in the U.S., the show will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Pen is a variation of Ben and 10, just so everyone knows. Remember to pick up your copy of the Rocket Belt Pilot's Manual from ApogeeBooks.com before the show, and we hope to see you there. And saying everything with the word Ben in it.